So a lot of people want to ask, when is the best time to put your house on the market? When can I sell for the most amount of money? Now, you can always do it in the springtime. That's when the most amount of buyers are on the market. But then there's the most amount of houses on the market as well, because a lot of sellers are putting their house on the market come springtime because that is the best time to sell. That's what everybody thinks, and that's pretty much a known fact for sure. Um, but the thing about it, in some crazy markets where we are right now, maybe the springtime isn't the best time to sell. You know, maybe the winter is the best time to sell. And yes, the winter can be great because you have buyers who are more serious about buying a home. They're not out shopping for Christmas, but they are shopping for a home. They got to get their family in a house. They're looking for Christmas time. They're not looking for gifts, and they need to get in a home. And so sometimes Christmas, holidays is the best time because you have more serious buyers. So whenever you think is the perfect time for you to sell your home and put it on the market, is really entirely up to you. And I always go back to people saying, whenever you feel it's right for you. Because if you're getting ready to change jobs, or if you're getting ready to relocate, if your job is moving you, or you're getting married, or your lease is over and you need to move, whatever time frame makes sense to you. But if you have that time, if you have that flexibility, and you have a little bit of a tip that you can use to be able to figure out when's the best time for me to put my house on the market. Well, I'm going to show you something because I've been sending these reports out for the last 6 months to all my database. Now, of course, not everyone's getting them because, 3,000 people in a database is a lot of people to be sending them to. And so I've been gradually getting everybody on board to get these reports. But these reports are awesome because they have really great information. And what they do is it comes straight from MLS. Anything that sells, anything that goes under contract, anything that actually is sold, period, will go through this report. And it's all tailored around your neighborhood. It's not anything about a house across the street, across the city, or a house in another neighborhood, or in another town. It's in your neighborhood. And it's everything that's so close to your area so that you can get a better perspective of what's going on in your area. And I do these because I think it's so important for you to know what's going on in your market, regardless if you want to sell or don't sell, or maybe you want to use your equity to use to buy investment property. Maybe you want to refinance. Maybe you want to do a HELOC loan. Whatever the case may be, this report will help you to figure out when's the best time to get the most amount of money and when's the best time to put your house on the market. These reports are really, really good. And they come straight from our database, is where any real estate agent has their license and carries their listings. And anything that sells is going to go through this report, through this MLS. Okay. So let me go ahead and show you one of the pieces of this report that I think are so integral when it comes to finding out the time frame to sell your property. Because I don't think many of y'all understand how important and how you can use this to your advantage, especially if you're thinking about selling in the next year to 2 years. So let's take a look at this report. So let's go into this report. Now, I'm sure that many of y'all have seen these reports and have given you like the quick sale, the adjusted sales price, a lot of pertinent information, but I'm not going to go through every detail here because it's a lot to look at. But what I am going to cover is the seasonal demand. And this is this little graph right here. Now, this is a powerful graph. It may be small, it may not seem significant, but I'm going to tell you right now, in a 2-mile radius, a 2 to 3 mile radius actually, of the neighborhood, of the house that you're living in, is going to show you every month how many sales are happening. And this is so integral to where you can strategize and use this as a way of figuring out, wow, when can I put my house on the market? When can I get the most for it? And when can I sell it to get it sold quickly? This is a really perfect graph. And it gives you the idea of how many houses, it gives you basically how many homes are selling every month within a 3-mile radius of your home. And this is perfect. This is what you want to use. Every month, this neighborhood, and this is this particular home right here, the one on Blue Fax, which is in Helotes. It's giving you every month there are sales in this area. And I'm not talking about houses that are active. I'm not saying houses that are sitting on the market. I'm talking about sales that have happened, houses that have sold. So if you see the most amount of solds in February, then maybe the best time to put your house on the market is in January. Of course, you want to price it right. You don't want to be crazy and go, 10 to 15, 20% over the market. But if you price it right, can you really get it sold quickly and for more money? Because February is the big month that everybody comes out and looks in this area. Yeah. So this is a really great tool to use. And I tell you, it's a very small part of this report, but it's one of the most important parts to use for timing. If you've got the time to look at this report and say, hey, you know what, I want to start thinking about selling, and you see how this has worked out for the last year to 2 years, you can start already figuring out, okay, now I'm going to get my house ready to start putting it in February. So I'm going to get it ready so I can list it in January so I can sell it in February. Or I'm going to start getting it ready in May so I can list it in June and have it sold in July. So all this really gives you a really good strategy to sell your home and to sell it quicker. Now we have another one here, which is in Cadiz Cove, which is off of like the Leon Valley area. And look at the seasonal demand here. You could tell. Now we talk about like spring being a big time buyer's market, which is great. Yes, it is. Typically that's the way it is, but not every community is going to be like that. So if you see here, yeah, spring's okay, but then you come to May, June, July, and August, all of a sudden we got the most amount of sales in the summer. Go figure. So that's why I tell you, if you're getting this report, pay attention to this seasonal demand, because it will give you an edge on knowing when to get your home on the market and start getting it ready. It takes about 30 to 45 days to close on a home. It takes about 2 to 3 weeks to actually market it really well and get it sold. Now, market like last year was a little slower, so you might want to start at least, 2 months before then. But if you price it right, you can literally get your home sold in 3 months. Okay, that means from start with the marketing and from 2 months of being under contract. Okay, so if you're thinking about doing it in the summertime and we have a decent market this year, I would start in May. Get it listed in May so you can have it sold by August. Okay, if you're looking to try to do it maybe in March because you want to do the springtime, get it listed in January so you can get it sold in March or April. Now, there's nothing wrong with doing it around the holidays because you see it's a little bit lower. It's just going to take you a little longer. That's all it is. It's just going to take you a little longer because it may fall into January before it actually closes. Now, pricing is everything, because I tell people you want to price it right, because if you do price it too high, you are going to be longer on the market. So you always want to make sure you price it right. But using this little graph here, this little part of your CMA report, is really good to strategize, to be able to give you a good way of knowing when would be the best time to get this house sold. And can I get it sold fast and for a little bit more money? So I hope this helps a lot, because it is a little part of this report that is so integral when it comes to timing. So anyhow, this is a great report here. This is a great CMA. I send it out. I'm sending it out to everybody. If they haven't received it, you can always send me an email, say, hey, send me my report, and I'll get it out to you real quick. But this is a great report to look at, and it is going to help you understand when is a great time to get your house on the market. Market's just getting better. This is 2026, and it's starting out with a bang. So anyway, you got any questions about this, always reach out to me at 210-942-4893, or you can reply back to this email. Have a wonderful day. Bye-bye.